The gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized for 3 minutes.
I thank the chairman. Mr. Speaker, I rise in very strong support of H.R. 33. And I want to thank Speaker Boehner and Majority Leader McCarthy for allowing this legislation to come forward so early in this Congress. And I agree with Mr. Larson. People always say, you know, I wish you guys could get along, just get something done. This is something that we overwhelmingly believe in, and we're going to get done. I think what Mr. Barletta, though, has done is explained very clearly. It has to become statute. It can't be left to be some nebulous fact that's rolling around out there. Now, these people that do this work, and in Pennsylvania, 97%, almost 8 out of every 10 firefighters come from the volunteer aspect of it. They're not paid, but yet because of some type of allowance they're given, they fall under the Affordable Care Act. This would destroy volunteer fire departments as we know them. So what Mr. Barletta has done is very thoughtfully put forth a piece of legislation that would guarantee that these folks don't have to worry about that. Now, I got to tell you, in a little town that I grew up in and live in, Butler, Pennsylvania, so many people volunteered their time to do the volunteer firefighting. They're also the EMS. They're the first responders. Last spring, one of our people by the name of Ryan Segursky, on his way home from work, he's a volunteer fireman. He heard over his scanner that a fuel truck had overturned. The driver was trapped inside that truck. He then went to the scene of the accident, got his equipment that was in the trunk of his car, got out and saved that driver's life. These are the people that we're talking about. And when you come to the people's house, America's Congress, we look at things that we can do together, things that just make sense. And while we may disagree on some other aspects of what it is that we try to get done, on this we are solid. This just makes sense for America. This makes sense for all those that lay their life on the line anytime there's an emergency or a fire. They do it voluntarily. Hundreds and thousands of hours in training go into this. They spend time away from their families. They spend time away from personal time that they could be doing other things to get trained so that they can help other Americans who may need their help. It's absolutely incredible. It's so American. It's something we look at with a great sense of pride. And we look at the IRS and say, listen, what we really need now is a statute that guarantees that these volunteer fire departments will not be put under pressure, that they would have to go out of business. This is not a health care issue, not as far as supplying health care or paying a fine for those that volunteer, but this is a health care issue for every single American for whom these people supply necessary services on a voluntary basis to save their life and their property. So I think Mr. Barletta is a champion on this issue. He was in the last Congress. The fact that it's come forward again, it's so overwhelmingly supported by both sides of our House that it truly is America's Congress. It truly is America's issue. It truly is an issue that makes sense for all of us. And it's maybe our small way of thanking all those folks that do that every day without any pay just because of the greatness in their heart. I thank you, and I yield back my time.
The gentleman yields.